Hi guys, come and play 9 holes of forehand only round with me. Since you guys really requested forehand tips videos, I thought why not play around, and then as we go I will share my knowledge and what I've learned over the years. So on the first hole, which I typically throw a backhand on, I will try to throw it with the verdict. There's plenty of room over there. It's 76 meters long and it's slightly downhill. And what I try to do here is aim toward that hillside over there, and hopefully it will have enough fade to get to the basket. Seemed pretty good. I think this is everybody's favorite putt. I actually started as a forehand player. Maybe not many people know, but for some reason the backhand didn't really click with me. But there was this guy who told me you can also go this way. And I tried it, and I remember I actually felt the flight of the disc. I guess that's why I've always leaned on my forehand when I do the approach shots, because they're more accurate and they feel more comfortable. In some situations where people question why I'm going with the forehand, not with the backhand, because it seems easier, this is why. This is a par 4. It's not very long, it's 150 meters, but it actually suits very well for the forehand because there's a really big ditch on the left-hand side. I feel like I need a driver. On the first hole I did throw a mid-range, and I wanted to show you that there's a bit of a difference in my grip. The driver, I throw like this. I just put 2 fingers together, and I really put pressure with my middle finger onto the rim. I just don't place it there, I actually apply the pressure. But with the mid-range, I use the fan grip. I do it also with the putters I throw, just because it feels more comfortable and it feels more supported, and I can probably be more accurate throwing like this. With the driver, I just need a lot of power and I want to gain distance, so this grip is just fine. Seems a little bit windy, so maybe I will try to go with the Grace. It's my newest one. Quite happy with that one. So I actually ended up in a quite difficult situation, but forehand is the only option here, so it suits perfectly. I don't really have room for a hyzer, so I need to go with an Anhyzer, match the side of the hill. I'm gonna do the fan grip, and whenever you're throwing Anhyzers, just make sure that your wrist is a little bit higher than your elbow. That way this angle comes perfectly, and the same goes with the hyzer. I know it's more comfortable to actually raise your arm a little bit higher, but when you're trying to go with the hyzer, you have to keep it lower. Whenever you're trying to put some angles on it, just keep that in mind. Didn't see where it ended up. So I actually managed to get to a birdie look. It is good exercise playing in Spain, on me of course. I need to catch my breath. I hit the bush. It's very common to do it here. So I actually ended up in a quite okay place, considering we're surrounded with bushes, with thorns, but I'm still on a hillside. So it's very hard to do a run up here, and I prefer to do a standstill because it's just better to control your shot this way. The basket seems quite close, but it's actually uphill. So I'm picking up a bit more speedier disc than I would normally do at this distance. Especially I'm doing a standstill as well. So it all adds to the distance you have to make to the basket. I'm gonna try to aim to the left. I don't want to aim straight at the basket, and hopefully it will fade toward the basket. Perfect. I think I can say this is one of the signature holes in Mia's Disc Golf Park. It's very beautiful, but it's also quite dangerous in a disc golf sense. There's some drop-offs around the basket, and typically there's a a strong wind coming from the sea. Right now it's not too bad. I feel like this is the place where you shouldn't pick up an understable disc and you can rely on your overstable disc to do the work here, because you just want to be on the fairway and not mess with all those drop-offs. I'm actually going with the Grace, which is not known to be very overstable, but I've thrown this clear plastic quite a few times here, and for me it plays more overstable than my normal Graces. I'm gonna try to do my run-up going toward the left-hand side and sort of point my left foot toward the direction I want to throw at. This is the best way to really hit your lines. A little bit short, but nice and safe on the fairway. Okay, that's a scary putt, but I'm gonna try to make it. Yes! Now we have a quite difficult basket. It's very far away, 143 meters. And I've never thrown a forehand here, but I will try. I guess throwing far is something that people really want to do when throwing forehands, and they always seem to ask for tips about how to throw far. I think there's many aspects to it, but what I see the most is that people are very tensed up, especially their arm, because they want to use a lot of their arm to put the power into the disc. But like in every throwing sport, the actual throw starts from the feet, so it comes from the ground up. You have to place your feet in the line you're throwing at. You want to point your toes over there. Then you want to have a wide enough stance so you can shift your weight from one foot to the other. You also want to engage your hips. You want to rotate them as far as you can and then powerfully move toward the direction you're throwing at. And on top of that, if you can add a lot of hand power, then you can gain a lot of distance. But you cannot really put aside any element from this. So remember to stay loose, engage your feet, and try not to overthink it. Just relax. That was a very good shot. I'm very impressed by my effort. Hole 7 is another par 4. It's 184 meters, so this is a little bit longer one. What I wanted to talk about is, I guess, reach back and follow through, which are also very important when you're trying to throw far and you still want to control your shots. For me, a very high and far reach back does not work. I feel like opposite to the backhand, you can be a little bit more compact. I think you can just swing it by your hip a little bit, and that's enough to really gain the power you're needing and still have that control and accuracy that you're striving for. Another common thing that I see is that people go back, and when they throw, they just stop here. They don't really do a follow through, but this is essential if you don't want to get injured and you also want to keep your swing very loose. Coming back, you're still relaxed. Coming forward, and then you make a powerful swing here with your wrist and then just loosely follow through. The follow throughs are a little bit different. When you're throwing a hyzer, you want to start from down here, throw, and then the arm goes up. If you're throwing an Anhyzer, then your arm starts from up here and then it goes down here. Depending on what angle you want to throw, this is where you want to keep your wrist. On an Anhyzer, you want to keep it up here, and if you're going with hyzer, you want to keep it down here. The thought alone is not enough. You have to also do it with your body, and it's very important. I needed more Anhyzer. Maybe it's still okay. So I actually ended up in a quite decent place. I have a wide enough gap that favors the forehand that we're doing here. I think I have to aim for that bush over there. So I'm gonna pick up something overstable like the Honor. Basket is around 80 meters away, so it should suit it should suit perfectly. Woo! On this tee pad, the run-up is a little bit short, so normally I would pick up a verdict, but right now I don't think I have enough power. So I'm gonna take the glory and see if I can get around the corner with it. Maybe. On this hole, you never know. There can be a lot of rollaways, so that's why I said maybe not on this hole, don't throw too many discs. I was fortunate enough to stay up here. Maybe that little bush saved me. Okay, we have arrived to our final hole on this forehand only round. I hope you have heard some useful tips that you can improve your skill set with. I guess my final tip would be to pick up some understable putters like a Pure and play catch with it with your friend. For example, when you want to warm up for your round. You really need to put some clean spin on the Pure to get it flying, otherwise it would just cut roll and do some weird stuff that you don't want to see. Once you have mastered that, you have also mastered your sidearm, because when you put clean spin on the disc, you can also add some power to it and gain some distance. But when the disc leaves your hand wobbly, no matter how much power you use, it will not fly very far. Okay, back to our final hole. It's not very forehand friendly, I would say, unless if you can go over the trees, which I cannot do, so I have to play a more skillful shot and navigate the disc around the trees. I will be dedicating more to sharing my knowledge. So if you have some ideas or you feel like something you want to know more of that I might know, so please let me know and see you on the next video.